Hey you! In this episode, I'm going to show you how we went from this okay photo taken with a drone to this ridiculously awesome image with the help of my friend Scott. Welcome to Make for Others, where we make all kinds of stuff with all kinds of tools and surprise all kinds of people. In a previous episode, I built my father-in-law an edge-lit picture frame for his birthday that showcased an image of one of his favorite places in the world. The original picture was taken with a drone and then given to my friend Scott, who is always making images look better. There's a link in the description to his website. Before we jump to him showing his step-by-step process, all you need to know is that I gave him raw image files because that format provides the largest file size with the most information to work with. Now let's join Scott as he's making my photo sweet.
Okay, right here's the file I've chosen. Now I'm going to process the file. This is a pretty good looking shot. We're going to go ahead and make it even better. Always try auto first. I don't really like it, so I'm going to do my own auto exposure. It's already a little bit better. Temperature, I want it to be a little warmer, a little more magenta. Exposure. Good here. Bring highlights down. Shadows up. Whites. Blacks. I'm looking at this histogram here to see if I make my blacks blacker, then it starts to change colors, and that's warning me that those are being pushed too far. When that little triangle is black like it is, that means I have some good black values. I'm going to add a little texture because I like something to be a little more textury. Clarity, you bring this down to get kind of like a really soft feel. Sometimes we'll use that a little bit in the sky, but for landscapes I've really liked clarity and some crispness, but not to overdo it. So now this is a better representation of what we want this photo to look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a gradient filter on top of the sky. Green to red. Green means it's 100%, so it's fading this change along this line to where it turns red, and then there's no change. So now that I put this on here, I can change my exposure. I can go up or down, and you can see how that's fading across there. So I'm going to keep the exposure pretty close to where it's at. More detail up there. Pop in some more contrast in the clouds. Highlights maybe get a little brighter. We can bring a lot more detail into the shadows, but it's just lightening it up. And here we can adjust the whites just within this correction. Now this already is bringing the clarity down some, which is nice. Gives you some soft clouds. And then you can even turn some of the dehazing off, which is nice if you really want that dreamy look. But I'm going to go ahead and keep it about where it's at because we really want those clouds to pop. I can add saturation. I'm going to change the color temperature to a little bluer just to get some of that sky, a little more blue, purple looking. There's a before and after. This is a good base start for this image. So now we're just going to open it in Photoshop. I think I'd mentioned I wanted the little hill that was in the lower view. I went ahead and made a couple layers that basically put that ridge going over the hill into this shot, even though we're at a higher angle and you probably wouldn't see that. In order to give that perspective fix, I had to shrink the road behind it and blend that in, and then put the ledge there and then color correct it. And so now, even though we're at the higher angle, we still have that nice hilly section going down into town. Then I did a levels correction, getting a little more contrast in the sky. And then I did a little bit of hue saturation down here at the bottom. And then I've added a couple of color overlays, yellow and green, to punch up some of the foliage. And I've taken masks and masked that off of everything. A little bit of blue for the sky, and then some curves adjustment layers in here to brighten up the sky and make it look natural to where we have the clouds and the ground cover. In this one, I went into a filter program. It's a Topaz filter. It's a filter pack that does a lot of different fun stuff. And what it does also is it kind of brings everything together. It's always nice to kind of have, you know, a layer on top that puts a little bit of a pizzazz to it, but it does the whole thing and it kind of brings it together. And then I have another layer here where I reduce some of the noise running another filter on it so that it's better for printing. And so then you have the final image here.